you doing?
Oh my
I
god.
don't even know what's going on.
Hi there, Leo. Here is your reading. Let's hope that yours is fun. Cancer's was fine. It was the, nice, 7 of Wands. Working on something. Somebody's doing some plumbing. Somebody is repairing a toilet, and the Sun. So just take note, I am a medium. So if someone comes through, I will let you know. Don't feel bad if someone doesn't come through for you. Doesn't mean that they don't love you. It just means that I didn't hear from them. Maybe they want to talk to me. Maybe they don't want to talk to me. And as I'm getting back into doing this, rebooting tarot torture, they get to tune into me and find me again. Blue butterflies are significant. Butterflies in general are significant. Cafes are significant. Papillon. All right, so Leo, let's get your cards. All right. Holy Spirit, Saint Michael, protect us. Ooh, all right, so we've got the Queen of Wands. Very nice, upright. Okay. Ooh, we've got the Star in reverse. Someone knows someone older with black hair. The color red is significant. All right. All right, we've got the Devil upright. Don't be afraid. King of Cups comes up with that. Somebody drinks booze. I'm looking This is a person with some sorrow. Beer is significant. Booze is significant. All right. Okay, we've got the 7 of Cups. Shows up with the Knight of Wands in reverse. I'm taking that Knight of Wands in reverse. And we've got the 6 of Swords flying out with the Hanged Man. Somebody has a mother wound, but the mother isn't the problem. You know, hanging clothes on a line is significant. All right. So let's look at this together. So we've got the theme for the week. Oh, and if you didn't already know, I'll probably only make these announcements on the first set of videos because then you'll have to remember that from here on out. I shuffle while I'm channeling because it makes it easier for me to pay attention to people like that's Jaden or Braden. I'll let you know. That's a B name. That's Braden. Let me see. This is a young man. He is in spirit. Braden? Jaden? He's not saying anything. He's just kind of leaning up here behind my desk. Somebody may have a new desk. All right. So for the theme of the week with the Queen of Wands upright. Okay, Leo, we're starting strong. The Queen of Wands is like a mirror for your energy, and you are blocking something or someone, or you're about to. She's radiant. She is confident. She's magnetic, but what makes her truly powerful is that her fire comes from within. So this week is All about owning your own space without needing applause to validate it. Spirit is showing me a lioness pacing in her own rhythm, not chasing, not proving, just being. You may feel more in touch with your creative side or ready to step into something with boldness. Someone in spirit, a female energy, fire, female, possibly a mother or mentor, is standing beside you. She says they see you, but more importantly, you see you. You know who you are. With that challenges card and the star in reverse, even with that strong outer energy, the star reverse shows a hidden thread of doubt. You may be feeling a little disconnected from your own sense of hope, or like something you've been wishing for feels further away than you'd like. Spirit says you haven't missed your chance. You're just not supposed to force the timeline. The challenge here is to keep believing, even if you feel the light feels dim right now. You may need to reconnect with your spiritual practices or give yourself permission to want what you want without guilt or shame. A gentle, peaceful spirit presence is coming through. Someone who passed after a long illness, reminding you to breathe into faith again. Keep up on your spiritual practices. Make sure that you're praying. Stay prayed up. I think I'm going to pull a trigger to see who is this person that passed from a long illness. I'm only going to choose one. Scorpio may be significant. Someone who is a Scorpio or associated with a Scorpio passed after a long illness. I think I'm going to take one more. Pardon me. Oh my gosh. Again with Scorpio. You are associated with the Scorpio. So whoever it is that passed from the long illness is a Scorpio or associated with a Scorpio. I'm not kidding you. Let's do this one more time. Let's draw one more because getting double. Who is it that passed after a long illness? I'm getting Libra now. Somebody associated with a Libra. Libra's been on my mind a lot. I don't know what's up with that Libra. You know I'm going to go for something else here. I'm going to take an initial. The initial H is associated with that Libra. Let's stay with this person who passed after the long illness. Something with the lungs is significant with this illness as well. We've got an S is associated with the H, associated with Libra. Let's draw one more initial. Not everybody has a middle initial, but take this as you will. One more initial associated with Libra, H, S. The initial E could be a middle name. All right, let's stop right there because I'm not getting anything else about this. So someone doesn't want me to dwell on that illness. They just want you reminded to breathe. For finances with that devil upright, in the money area, what's the devil talking about? So the devil can bring up sticky patterns, impulsive spending, financial fear, or even feeling trapped in a work situation. It's not necessarily doom and gloom, but Spirit is asking you to look at what has power over you. Are you chasing material validation to feel worthy? Are you avoiding something uncomfortable because it feels overwhelming? There's an opportunity here to break free from an old cycle. I hear clearly you're not stuck. You're just in a story you've outgrown. What's this? The world, definitely a cycle that is completing or nearing completion. It could be a cycle that's already completed. Someone in spirit who struggled with addiction or hardship is stepping forward. Often they do that in the middle. Temperance. Definitely somebody who is like a guardian angel for you. That person who struggled with addiction or hardship is stepping forward. Come on. That is this Braden or B name. Braden. I want to say it's not Jaden. Jaden is here, but I do know who that is. And she is not associated with your reading. She's just visiting. So Braden again. Somebody with a B name. It could be Braden. It sounds like Braden. This spirit, sweetheart, is offering strength and reminding you always have a choice. This could be to give you words of encouragement for someone in your life. For romance with the Knight of Wands in reverse. That reversed Knight of Wands. Romance this week may come with mixed signals. The reverse Knight of Wands suggests stop and go energy. Maybe someone's acting hot and cold, or you're feeling unsure whether to pursue or pull back. If you're single, this could be someone exciting but inconsistent. Nobody wants that Knight of Wands in reverse. If you're partnered, passions may flare up or flare out. Spirit says don't mistake drama for depth. There's a call to ground your heart and ask what really sustains you beyond attraction or temporary thrill. I'm also getting a strong sense that someone from the past could resurface this week, so take it slow. You don't owe them access. Let me tell you, I get people from my past to try to get my attention. Let me just leave it there. Let the past remain in the past. You've moved on from those cycles. Now I've got the star in the upright. I feel odd about this one. You know, I don't eat things that people that I don't trust completely. Let me tell you that I've had to eat food from people that I didn't trust completely, vomit out of sight, and take a few other precautions. King of Pentacles in reverse. All right, for your solutions and guidance and that Six of Swords upright. Hi, Braden. Braden wants me to say hi. He remembers a bike. The bike. And a Queen of Wands sideways. Braden's mother is also in spirit. She might have been a fire sign. You know, she had her own addictions. This Braden came from a line of addictions, you know, like several people. And the Hermit upright, that's good for you. You know, sometimes we just go within so that we can make sense of things. As a Virgo rising, I'm always within making sense of things. Ooh. Knight of Wands again in reverse. Watch that person from the past. So this is where the healing comes in. The Six of Swords is about transition, release, and choosing peace over chaos. Spirit says you're crossing emotional waters. Don't turn the boat around. Boats are significant. Ten of Swords in reverse. Somebody's in recovery or will go into recovery. With the Five of Cups upright. You know, somebody's got a drinking issue. I don't think it's you. Whether this is about an old mindset, a toxic environment, or an outdated version of yourself, this card confirms you're moving forward and it's okay to grieve what you're leaving behind. Someone in spirit is showing me a quiet lake. They want you to know you're not alone in this passage. You're being spiritually escorted toward clarity. So in summary, Leo, this week, is about stepping into your fire from a place of grounded self-worth, not external validation. The Queen of Wands reminds you that you are the magic. Strength in reverse, you're going to be okay. You are the strength. The star reverse may make you question your glow, but the spirit says don't give up on the vision. Financially, it's time to break patterns that hold you hostage. In love, be mindful of erratic energy or fiery distractions. Real connection takes more than chemistry, people. And your solution, keep moving forward. Don't look back. Remember the Bible stories? Spirit is guiding you through a powerful transformation. Let go. Level up. Trust the flame inside. It knows the way. I'm really being drawn over here to it. I know I've got that name wrong. It can't be Braden, but it sounds like Braden, or I have to focus on the letter B. I have to focus on the letter B. Bryce, Braden. It's not Brandon. Not Brandon. Bryce. Just think about the name Bryce. See if that resonates with you. Let's do one more pass here to see if I get anything else from. He's really curious about my living space. And he doesn't. I have a white couch and a lot of white furnishings, and he passed pretty young. He wanted to be a mechanic. He wanted to be a motorcycle mechanic. Why did I almost say merchant? He was selling something. Maybe he was selling something he shouldn't have been selling. Bryce, I'm going to stick with that name, Bryce. Is there anything else you want to say? He says the bike. He remembers the bike. The bikes. Bryce. All right, people, let's get to your charms. Arr.
Ma fumo e le tue.
All right, let's get into the treasure chest. I always laugh because of the way that I have to do this. But this is a really big chest. It's like I can't move it. It's so heavy now. All right. And yes, I do, because of the depth of it. I turn everything over. And I have to use assistance to do this because I don't turn the whole chest over, but we go in there and lift up and out and turn it over. A lot of these things in this collection are triggers, objects that I use as triggers, many of them small, some of them different sizes. And I started this habit of collecting items without knowing they were triggers when I was a very little girl. So there are objects that go back to when I was about, oh boy, some of these objects go back to when I was 2 years old, which obviously consciously I wasn't doing it for this reason, but as I got older, I understood. So I remember understanding what I was doing when I was about 3.5. I wasn't quite, well, I could have been close to 4 because when my brother Align was in kindergarten and we're only 15 months apart, I started kindergarten when I was 4. And I knew what I was doing with these objects. And my family often marvels at how I've held on to these. I just have a knack for keeping track of things. All right. Okay. This is going to, I don't know why. This is already funny. Okay. So close my eyes and let's go to it. Okay. I've got a green monkey from my childhood Barrel of Monkeys game. Let's set it aside. Let's keep going. Obviously, I look down when I insert my hand. Okay. Ooh, that's interesting. I've got a multi-tool. Okay. There isn't anything in here that could hurt me, but obviously some things like twos and it's just too much to explain. If anybody saw this, they'd just be like, wow. But anyway, so this collecting, what I was going to say had to do with ghost hunting. So when I was on different teams, unbeknownst to anyone else, I was carrying an object in my pocket of my pants or in my purse, a specific item that I would know if someone from the other side could tell me what that object was. I knew I was dealing with an authentic spirit and not some trickster, because they, it gets real in those streets. You have to make sure. It doesn't mean that tricksters can't identify the objects. I just made a conscious effort to know which object and why before I even went to the location, which most of the time I knew the locations. And then when I went off and did some independent stuff with certain people for certain projects, let's just say, I knew why. All right. Oh. Give me a second. I have got, you already see it. You probably know which one I'm laughing at, but this is a crab claw. This is the pincing part. Okay, so let's read this. So with the Barrel of Monkeys, green monkey. Someone's childhood becomes important now. Maybe your childhood becomes important because you're thinking about a lot. Maybe you're nostalgic about your childhood, remembering the good parts of your childhood. Not, we all go through all kinds of different things. Unfortunately, some people go through worse. Some people have easier childhoods. I've met individuals, high ranking officials, let's say at churches, that one individual, in case he's watching, I don't want to say the name, but he always wanted to hear all my stories, because I asked him once, why do you want to know all this? And he said this, I haven't done anything. I didn't get to do anything. He really didn't get to experience life. He had a very sanitized childhood and even his whole adult life. I reckon that to this day he hasn't experienced anything that wasn't scripted for him. Doesn't mean that those people who do not experience the highs and lows or the differences, that they don't have their own path and that it isn't valid. Some of us have experienced much more difficult paths, and even when we feel our childhoods in this case, because the monkey is talking about a childhood, maybe you're associated with somebody who's the sign, the Chinese sign of the monkey, somebody very fun, because I'm a monkey person. We're very fun. We're always, we make excellent parents because we always play with our children. My children are grown adults, and two of my children play very much to this day, that they're always able to draw on that happiness, even though their childhoods, we all had our own difficulties. But this monkey is reminding you to think about the good times and to hold on to those. And the monkeys in that game, you had to pick up the monkeys, didn't you? You had to take the monkey and scoop up another monkey. I only have one monkey. But it survived. I wonder if it's got no copyright date on it, but it's from when we were children. And everything is interconnected. Your childhood doesn't end when you're an adult. You carry that child with you. Healing the inner child is important, and understanding that everybody did the best they could with what they had. They're understanding their resources, their circumstances, and knowing that all of our paths are connected. So, with the multi-tool. So this multi-tool could indicate that somebody works with tools, works with their hands. Could just be careful with your hands. Be careful with your hands. But the multi-tool is used for multi-uses. I think all I need to say is that somebody is on the right path. Somebody works with their hands, works with tools. Now, this doesn't mean that you just have to be like a carpenter or a mechanic. You could be, you could be working in medical implement sterilization, but I really get strongly that this is about bigger tools, and maybe this is about extracting the fun every day out of your day without dwelling on what isn't essential. Let's get to this crowd. Somebody's got an affinity with the ocean. Maybe somebody likes seafood. Maybe Bryce is telling me about a boat, or his dad. His dad is also in spirit. They had a boat for a short time, he said. An outboard motor. Bryce says he wants to know if you've got a quarter. I don't know what that means. Like he wants to go to a vending machine. He wants to go. He's talking about childhood. He also wants to know what I've got in the. He wants to know what I've got in the freezer. Yes, there are. Well, they're not Otter Pops this time. They're Flavor Ice. I really prefer Otter Pops, though. Something about that. Okay, so back to the crab. So Bryce wants to play with me here. So maybe we want to play with Bryce. Bryce could be somebody's childhood friend. I really want Bryce. I gotta say that. Crab claw. So somebody could have experienced marine life, ocean life. I'm going to guarantee you right now that this is this is a crab that I ate. And yes, when it was, it was just so huge and we were having such a good time. And yes, it's been cleaned and sterilized and bleached and everything. But I kept it because I found it funny. I think that the person I was eating these crabs with, we were having a really good time and enjoying ourselves. And I think we were, okay. This is when myself and a significant person in my life at the time were planning on moving, and um, we were deciding between a monohull and a catamaran. I'll leave it right there. And this individual is very, very talented, skilled with his hands. And, if you threw him a puddle of fiberglass, and I'm positive that even though he had, you know, any number of human frailties, that man could build anything with his hands. You must be good with your hands because of the multi-tool. And I don't know, so the crab claw, back to what we were talking about. So someone may have experience on, oh, it's making me think about when I was a child and my father used to take our little family to Redondo Beach, California. And on the pier, we would go to the little fish market. And then there was a particular moment. My dad, he, as many human frailties as he had, he also knew uh, that when he could relax with us, he would absolutely play. He had a difficult life. Maybe you've had a difficult life, but he did fancy me. And somehow he allowed me to take a crab home from the rocks there in Redondo Beach, California. He brought it with him, knowing he was going to do this, and he tied fishing line on a crab. And because I wanted to walk the crab, he tied the line to it, and he let me walk that crab around. And he let me take that crab home. He took care of it, protected it. The crab lived briefly in the bathtub, and we absolutely did return that crab to the rock. So, okay, Leo, maybe you need to return to the pier, to the ocean. Maybe you're thinking about working with your hands and building a boat or buying a boat, but you're doing something. Take good care. Enjoy the ocean. It is a beautiful, beautiful thing. I love you guys. That's too funny.